welcome back to Happy for Now. I am here with some recommendations. I had this rec video planned, realized it was going to fall in Black History Month, and you know what? I thought it was kind of maybe a good time because I feel like a lot of people will be recommending books that aren't joy and love and happiness and that reflect like people I know around me's lives. So yeah, we're gonna recommend some of my favorite Black love romances. That means the book features two Black main characters falling in love. Not interracial, any of that. Two Black main characters. So, I know this is coming out in February. I just worked out that way. I didn't want it to come out this month, but also I feel like it's a good juxtaposition to the like sheer amount of painful books I see recommended during Black History Month. So yeah, we're here. I want to talk about it. Some of these won't be surprises. Some of these are authors I don't shut up about personally, I feel like. So let's get into it. I've got quite the list for you, and I think it's a great place to get started if you're new to this subgenre of romance. And honestly, it's not really a subgenre, it's just a character type in my opinion. It's just characters. Like they all fall within different subgenres of romance anyways, and they deserve your love and attention because honestly, some of these are the funniest books I've read and the best like dramatic books I've read, all the things. So let's dive in. First things first, I have to recommend the first book I read by Cynthia Williams, last year, which is Careless Whispers. This is like book 3 in her Jackson Falls series, which are like a soapy family drama about a family that runs a like manufacturing company in the Carolinas, and it is so good. Book 3 is like an enemies to lovers. She is struggling to take over the business, really wants it. Her parents don't think she's ready for it, and her like enemy comes in book 3 and kind of gets a job, and they have some good tension building happening, and I really loved this story, and I need to go back and read the rest of the Jackson Falls series, honestly, because I'm terrible and I haven't. But you could start with book 3, you could start with book 1. This whole series though is really soapy in the best way. So it felt like reading I really felt like I was reading a drama, like a soap opera type thing in book form, and I love that when I'm in the mood for it. And when I read this, I was in the mood for it, and I freaking loved it. Also, this cover is fan-fucking-tastic. So if you haven't checked this out yet, I highly recommend. So Cynthia also has Summoning Up Love coming out in April through Harlequin. This is the cover. It is, again, spectacular. And this is about a family that are ghost hunters. Yeah, so it's a group of brothers that like go and investigate paranormal activity. And I'm so excited for this. So if you are on the hunt for some spooky reads in April, late April, make sure you check this out as well. Then we have one of my favorites. I think one of the few authors that makes me laugh out loud routinely during books, and that is Christina C. Jones. I'm gonna recommend you the 3 places I think you could start very easily because she has a massive backlist. I literally have a whole Notion page dedicated to tracking her books as I read through them because there's so many that I don't know how I'll ever get through them, but I'm trying. And that's what counts. First up, we have the Wright Brothers series. This is where I started with Christina C. Jones and fell in love with her like immediately. I'm honestly so glad I got recommended her and fell in love with her books because they have become such a comfort read for me. Like I love reading her writing. Her books are so funny. Like I laugh during almost every single one of her books. They're the right amount of steam. Like I will never complain about the steam in her books. Her sex scenes are amazing. They're so well done. They're so hot, and they're just on par. Plus, so these 3 that I'm recommending are all contemporaries, but she does have a paranormal series that I don't love as much, but she's even done paranormal. Like she has literally like written in almost every genre besides historical, I think. The other one is The Love Sisters, which ties in with the Wright Brothers that I've been like slowly reading through The Love Sisters. Like I don't want to be done with this family because they're kind of interwoven. But The Love Sisters also had me laughing out loud because the first book, I Think I Might Love You, the opening and how she meets her love interest had me dying with laughter. It was a very strong meeting to say the least. But both of these are like fun rom-com-y, like actually a rom-com, like you will laugh out loud romances. The book 1 in the Wright Brothers does deal with a war veteran, so be aware of that. But it was a great, all of these have been great so far. The other Christina C. Jones series that I will never shut up about is the Vegas Nights series, which starts with maybe next time, where our husband kidnaps the wife to convince her of why they should stay together. Big content warning on this one for it mostly centered around her miscarriage and how she feels as a woman after that miscarriage. But I think it was a really valuable conversation in this book, along with like a really fun story. I've loved the Vegas Nights series. I have book 3 on my Kindle and I'm going to be reading it soon and I don't want it to be over. So there's that. I feel like that's always a good sign when I'm like, I don't want this series to end. I like it too much. Another author I started reading last year because of Ashley over at Bookish Realm is Shay Sanders, and I'm really excited to dive through more of her books. She has a lot also. But the 3 that I would recommend is A Flick Between Friends, which features 2 coworkers that are friends who get laid off and they go make porn together. And she starts like her own website and makes all this money, and it was just you know, just for the video. And then lo and behold, they fall in love with each other, and it's so freaking cute and fun, and also top tier smut, like so good, so sexy, so steamy. Like absolutely loved this book. It definitely has parallels to Fans Only by B Love, which I also really like, but oh, so good. Another one is Trick and Treat. I'm going to talk about both together. These are like Halloween-y duets. They're centered around Halloween. One follows a character that we meet in A Flick Between Friends and their hookup with someone that we also meet in that book. And that is on Trick, I think. Or I don't remember which one it is. Crap. Whatever. Anyways, one of these 2. And they go on like a cute date and it ends in them banging, and it was absolutely adorable. And then the other one follows a married couple. Well, they're not yet married, like a couple that's been together a long time, opening up their relationship, and they go to a club, and that is one of those sex scenes that lives rent free in my mind, is when they have this person that they're hooking up with as well add them as a trio, and like they talk through the wife's pleasure, and it was so hot. And it was just so good to listen to, or to read a book where the way the woman's pleasure was centered in this, and the husband learning about the things she enjoyed even more. I just loved it. And I felt like it just proved that like you never stop learning about your partner, and I loved that aspect of it. For me was just everything. Absolutely everything. Then we have To Be Alone With You by Jodie Slaughter, which is based in the beginning of the COVID times and the pandemic in 2020. So if you're not interested in that, it may not be for you, but I do think this is one of those ones that's also well worth your time to read, because we follow a girl who's had a crush on this guy forever. She's going to his house to go on a little vacation, and they get trapped together in his like place out in Joshua Tree. And it's them like slowly falling in love. There's a wonderful chase scene. There's a wonderful scene in the back of his Jeep. Also lives rent free in my mind. That more the Jeep scene, honestly, than the chase, but both of these are spec-frickin-tacular, so I can't recommend them enough. Can't recommend it enough because of just those sex scenes alone are well worth your time. Very well worth your time. And Jodie Slaughter, for me, I love. She does write a lot of interracial though, so know that going in. This is one of her both Black main characters books. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about Sweet Hand by N.G. Peltier. This is just a really cute enemies to lovers romance sort of situation, or dislike to lovers. These are 2 people who are involved in their friends' weddings, and they don't like each other, but they have to deal with each other a lot. And she thinks he's like in the music industry, and she'd had like this big breakup with somebody in the music industry that was not great. And I think it was really interesting to read, first of all, because it was different and it was set in the Caribbean islands. Anyways, Cherry, our main character, is a pastry chef, and our hero, Kyrian King, is like the most annoying man to her on the island, and they kind of just always butt heads, and then they end up hooking up, and it's spicy in the best ways. Like, it's super sexy, super fun. I really liked how everything resolved in this book, and I apparently never wrote my review for it, so go me! I love when I pull up a Goodreads and I see RTC. Review to come, okay. But yeah, I really liked Sweet Hand. I'm excited for the next book. And yeah, they have to figure out how to survive the time together before the wedding day. And, you know, they find love on the way. Another book I'm going to recommend also is Set or Them Boys by Alexandria House. This is a like favorite amongst everyone I know that has read it. I haven't only read the first book because I'm like, I'm weird. I savor, but like I will save books. I need to do a break in case of emergency book list. Anyways, this is a older couple. She and this guy have been like flying out to meet up together and hook up. And he's kind of like, hey, I want to do more than that. I want to be more than that. Let's like come to my place. So she does. And it just like, how do I describe Set? I don't even know. Like they ended up, it actually was like they went to high school together. And they like have a thing where like people find out they're together, and a lot of other interesting like dramatics bring them together. But like Set was such a great love interest, and I loved how much he loved our heroine, whose name I don't remember. Karima? Yeah, Karima. And it was really cute because like they met and like clicked right away, and it was just really, really sweet to read. And I mean, basically it's a MILF just like getting boned. And I love that. I love seeing older main characters find love, and that's what this was, and it was so good. And like they didn't sacrifice who they each were to be together since they were so much older, which I think we see sometimes. But again, very much a favorite amongst a lot of people that read these books and have read them, because Alexandria House also brings it. So yeah, I highly recommend Set as well. If you have a favorite Black love book that I haven't talked about, or you know I haven't read, please let me know in the comments because I need to get to it. I like to make sure I'm reading Black love throughout the year because I think it's important, as should you. Don't be one of those people that only reads it in February. Please and thank you. On that note, you can leave me a black heart emoji in the comments if you made it this far. And on top of that, I will have links to all these books for you in that description box, as well as links to be my friend anywhere on the internet. And I will talk to you all in a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll